Welcome to the Nonsense in the Chaos. I'm your host, Jolie Rose. This week, I managed to convince my dear bestest friend to join me for this week's podcast. And it was a real mission, mainly because of trying to get our lives aligned so that we were both able to be on call at the same time. Our worlds are very different now. And so it was a mission to try and find a time that we could both do. And also because it was a bit weird and scary, I think for both of us really, because we don't get to talk to each other very often. And it was, strange to be doing it via podcast, even though, as you'll hear, that podcast and lengthy WhatsApp messages are the main way that we communicate with each other these days. And so it felt apt. I just felt like I needed and wanted to share my relationship and history with Saffron. So it's Saffron Issac. I knew her as Saffron Chapman for many years. Then she got married and now she's Saffron Issac. And I'm godmother to her daughter. And yeah, we've been through an awful lot together. So this is like a phone call podcast where you're listening in on two friends having a chat and a catch up. But it feels special and I'm honoured to have my darling friend here with me. So thank you for listening. And without further ado, I'd like to share my wonderful friend, Saffron Issac.
Yeah.
You haven't got your video on?
I thought I did.
I've got your name.
There. I think I might have left altogether now.
No.
I did have. It's turned it off. Hang on. Let me just turn it on. And then
Yay!
It's like having an elderly person in the room. Is it gone again now?
No, I can see you. Yeah, it's working.
You can see me. All I can see is nothing. I can just see a big blue ball. Hello. Big blue ball.
I'm just a big blue ball.
Yeah, I can't see your face. Bit disappointing.
Oh, that's a shame. Why can you not see my face?
I don't know, but if I go backwards, I'm honestly, this is. I'm so good at technology, just not this kind. Hang on, let me go back, and if I leave, I'm sorry. Hang on.
No, that's all right.
Are you still there?
It'd be nice if you could see me. Yeah, I'm still there, and I can still see you.
I can see you, but you're like as big as my little finger. So if I reduce
you
to the size of my little finger, I can see you. And then if I make you bigger, it says your microphone is unmuted, your video is started, Saffron Issac is speaking.
That's all. Oh no, now you've gone mute. You've muted yourself now.
Oh my God, I don't actually care. Okay, let's just talk. Hi.
Hello. Well, I can see
tried
you.
To go and sit. I can't see you. So annoying. Oh. I'm somewhere really pretty. I drove somewhere really pretty because I couldn't be in my house. So there are cows. There are wild. Oh no, there's sheep. It's quite steamy. My windows are quite steamy.
Can you see anything?
Wild horses.
Do you need glasses?
Yeah, I do. I do need glasses. I think it is a bit. You can see a bit, but you can't see very much. There are wild horses on this bit of land, so one might come and reach my window.
Nice. Yeah. Where are you?
I am on the Gower. I drove for 10 minutes to just find a quiet space where there will be no dog whining and no one coming in again. What are you doing? And I just sit in nature, which is quite nice. I'm sure they're not just sheep. That one of those is a cow. Cows. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, so this is Saffron.
Hi. I'm going to try and
Saffron.
forget that we're being recorded.
Yeah, no, totally. But I probably need to explain who you are a little bit. You're my best friend, and we met when we were 13. I was 13-ish, 14, maybe a bit older actually, because I was with Kester. Yeah, I think it was probably more about 15. You were 15, were you, when you came to Kentwell? How old were you?
No, I was 17. So
yeah, I was 15.
15.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
2 years younger than me.
Yeah. So we met at Kentwell Hall, and we met Dennis the same year, I think. Did we meet Dennis straight away?
Yep. Dennis, was somebody's just putting up, possibly to tell me to get off their lands, but they're driving away now. Yeah, we met a huge group of our friends that have become our permanent friends. We met them all that year, really.
Yeah.
And that would have been 77 add 17. That would have been 94. That would have been 1994. Mm.
1994. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, because I just did that, the mum, what were you like in the 90s video thing that people are doing on Instagram. And I did the weird aunt, what were you like in the 90s? And I was going through
Yeah,
all
I
our
saw
photos.
that. I saw that, and it was interesting because it came at a moment where I was like preparing to do this and just thinking about the way in which we knew each other and the moment that we met, and then suddenly
Yeah.
there was all this visual, like, oh no, it's Jodie, and she was, oh, you're a baby, and we were babies. We didn't
We were
realize it.
babies. No,
We were fledglings, weren't we? About
we
to
thought we were
fly the
so grown
nest.
up. We
Oh
thought
my
we were
gosh, we were
so grown
so
up.
grown up.
But also, I think people did grow up younger then, because when I look at a 17-year-old now or an 18-year-old now, and I think about like just how free we were and how
Mm,
like how grown up we thought we were. Like I went traveling around the UK when I was 15 with Joanne, with Joe Fowler, and we went and visited Will and Kester in Cumbria, and I was in East Lothian at a party at Alison Scott's house when I found out that Kurt Cobain had died. And so like whenever I'm like, did I really go at 15? I always Google when Kurt Cobain died. And I'm like, yep, no, I was definitely 15 because that was definitely where I
yeah.
was. And that's mad. Like thinking of a 15-year-old now going off and doing that seems crazy to me. So I think we,
Yeah, I think you did more cool stuff like that than I did. Like I wasn't allowed to go to parties in Scotland when I was 15, but
no,
you definitely had a bit more bit more freedom
but we were
than I
going to
did.
London with Dennis when we were like 17, because that was
Yeah,
before, because I moved to
yeah,
Australia when I was 18 and we were doing all that, because obviously I moved to Australia with Jasper. So
yeah,
we were going up to London to free parties when we were like 15, 16, 17,
yeah.
which is mad because I was
Wow.
working in the convent. I'd go work in the convent and go to a free party and then go back and work in the convent again.
Hello, nuns.
But they
Hi.
were just like, and I was so much better on the Sunday because I was so much more like, oh, go on, tell me how much things cost in the war. Would you like a massage? Here's a cuddle.
You
Yeah,
had such
it
an
was good.
innocent face though, so they wouldn't have known what you were
Covered
up
in
to at the
glitter on the
weekend.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Covered in
yeah.
glitter and UV paint.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Remember Dennis used to always sit and paint us. She'd always sit and paint
I
us in UV
do.
paint. Yeah.
I do remember. And then I remember like actually seeing myself under UV light because she'd paint us and we'd be like, oh, well, I can't really see it. I'm sure I look fab. And then seeing myself under UV light in the bar and going, oh my, like I was going to war in war paint. That's absolutely nuts. Oh, right. Dennis has made me look like a maniac. Like, thanks.
Thanks, Dennis.
Oh,
Very good
yeah,
at
she would
that.
have done
Bless
that
her.
lots of times.
I can't believe how much UV I managed to get on my body. It was amazing.
Mm,
Everything from head to toe in UV paint. Just
such a
everything.
magical time.
It was, but it's so long ago. It's crazy. It's such a long time ago. So we've been
Yeah,
through such a huge life journey together. We have known each other since we were young. We were there like kind of through parents breaking up and like leaving home and becoming like independent. We went from being kids and knowing each other as kids to becoming independent adults, and then moved in with each other in Brighton, which was hilarious
yeah.
because we'd all gone out with John, who we met that year at Kentwell, and then all of his exes moved into a house together in Brighton. He was like, I'm just never going in that house.
Fair enough.
Poor John.
Well, you
Bless him.
wouldn't, would you? I'm
No,
not going in there.
I'm not moving into that house. And we had a brilliant time. It was so much fun. We had a year, didn't we? The three of us lived to, well, four with Sarah,
Yeah.
lived together for a year, and we were all
Mm.
fiercely independent women. And then had some time in Brighton. You went out with my brother for a bit briefly,
Oh, I
and
did.
then
Yeah. Oh.
so then you were sort of part of my family for a weird second, and then
Yeah.
you met Ben, and you moved to Manchester, and then we went through the whole IVF journey together. And you ended
Yeah.
up with a baby, and I ended up not having a baby. And your
Hmm.
baby is now 12, is that right?
12.
Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, that's
Yeah, she's 12.
crazy. And we were doing it
Mhm.
at the same time. So I'd have a 12-year-old now as well if I'd been successful, because it was you, me,
I
and
know.
Dennis.
I think
Like,
about that
yeah,
quite often, really, because it was because there were the three of us, you, me, and Dennis, and then me and Dennis were pregnant at the same time, and you were doing IVF, and it seemed so obvious that it was going to happen for you as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
And then when it didn't, it was just this huge adjustment that you had to make, and that Dennis and I were making a different kind of adjustment as well.
Yeah,
And
it's
it was sad
crazy.
at the time, but then now,
Yeah.
obviously, like your whole life would be completely different.
Oh, it'd be
Completely
like
different.
not. I don't mean it'd be
I
awful
mean,
because
you
also
think awful.
well, I would be very in love with my child, and it would be the best thing I've ever done. But I would be
Yeah.
stuck with Emlyn. I would be connected to Adam. That's the bit that would be
You'd
awful.
be
Is that I would,
forever stuck with
yeah,
that
he would be
previous
the
life.
baby
Yeah.
daddy, and I would have had to have put
Yeah.
up with his way of bringing the child up as well forever, and it would be a nightmare. And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in Sark. I wouldn't have met Diz.
No,
Like
you
none of
wouldn't
this
have
would
had
have
the
happened.
freedom to like just leap and go, I'm just gonna go and try this island because I like the nature.
Yeah.
So see ya.
Yeah, Ellie's just moved over. My friend Ellie from Glastonbury. She
Yeah.
literally arrived yesterday because she's also not had
Oh,
kids and has decided she doesn't want to have children. And she's just gone, I'm going to come and spend a summer being a seasonal worker in Sark. So she's come to be a chef in Sark and is living with us in our house for the
oh.
summer. So that's really
God, you've got
nice.
two
Yeah.
chefs living with
Yeah, I've
you
got
this
two
summer then.
chefs
That's
living
nice.
with me. I'm like, I'm going to get really fat. I'm already getting
Go with
really
it.
fat.
Just go with it.
Yeah, my hormones have completely changed. I'm totally going through the menopause now. Like, absolutely
Yeah.
not. There's no question about it. Because, like, for years, you're like, oh, is this perimenopause or is it the pandemic? Like, why am I tired? And then now it's like I'm just bleeding all the time and everything's gone haywire. So it's definitely happening.
In my experience, the bleeding all the time thing doesn't last very long. Well, it
No,
lasts a little while, and then you just move into like a different phase of it, and it's
yeah.
like a where it's the hormones and the kind of confusion, and they're like, why have I come into this room and all that stuff.
Mm.
But the bleeding bit isn't eternal because
No, it's
otherwise
stopped now with
they
the HRT. So I
good,
started getting
good.
HRT. And I had an underactive thyroid. Did you know that? I had an underactive thyroid in my
Yeah.
brain, which apparently can be an ADHD. Women with ADHD going through the menopause can suddenly get a thyroid things happen as
Oh.
well. But yeah, it's fine. I'm on this thyroid medication that's like slightly energizing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Oh,
quite
nice.
good.
Oh, yeah, because that's what you need.
Yes, what I need is more energy. Apparently, my body wasn't keeping up with me. No, but the big change for me is if I could, I would stop doing everything for at least a year. And I said that last night.
Everything. What do you mean?
Just everything, like having to do anything, like ceremonies, articles, putting on festivals, all of it. If I could just stop everything for a year and just
You
sit
go
and
out of your
chill.
mind. You
Well,
love
that's
everything
exactly
you
what Ellie
do.
said last night when I said that. She was like, you'd last about 3 days and then you'd be bored. And she quoted you. Because I always quote you when I said, oh, I'm going to move to the countryside and like live a calm life. You were like, you'll be entering jam competitions within seconds. And it's exactly what's happened. I've moved here and I'm busier than I've ever bloody been.
Yeah, and that's the world you create around yourself. And I've always really just enjoyed what you do, like the world you create around yourself. And you've always done it, and I've always followed you and gone, where are you going? What are you doing? Because it's fun. You create a fantastic sort of buzz around you. And I always thought I'd follow you or you'd follow me, and now you're 50 miles away.
I know. I thought you would as well. I'm like, come here. And you're like,
No.
come here. And I'm like, no, you come here.
Yeah, yeah. I have to stay here now. I
Yeah,
think probably for the next 8 years, I have to stay here. But actually, I really love it. I really love Swansea.
yeah,
It's a really lovely, friendly community, and
it's great.
it's beautiful. My child is growing up here, so it feels like her home. So I
Yeah.
may just stay here.
Has she got a
Yeah,
Welsh
I
accent?
definitely. No,
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 she
no,
hasn't
she
picked up an
hasn't. When
accent.
she first came, though, she had an American accent, and so she's got rid of that, which is good.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Because where have you
So now
lived? Talk a bit about all the places you've been and everything.
So
Things.
the place that she got her American accent from was the international school in Ethiopia. So that's where we were immediately before coming back to Swansea. So yeah, we left the UK in 2010 and we moved to Bangladesh, and it was just me and Ben, and we were trying for a baby. So there was quite a lot of, it's quite fun, but also quite like, when is it going to happen? And all of that feeling. And but it's our only post in the end. If I'd known that I was going to have children in the future, I would have spent less time worrying about having children in the future. But at the time, I think I was just like, oh, I was anxious about never having children and trying to kind of adjust my expectations of reality. So there was a lot of like sitting by pools and drinking gin, far more than there ever was in any other of my life since then. But and going out and meeting people and actually going to events and meeting people from Bangladesh and having Bangladeshi friends and going to yoga classes and like, being invited to kind of stuff with people. And then subsequent posts, like after we left Bangladesh, we went to Egypt. And then I left Egypt for a year because I went back to the UK and then we had IVF and then I got pregnant. And then during the time that I was pregnant, there was the Muslim Brotherhood were overthrown. So there'd been a revolution the year before, and then the Muslim Brotherhood took over. And then the country said, no, we don't actually want that. And so then when the Muslim Brotherhood were overthrown, that's when I was due to go back to Egypt and live in Egypt and I was pregnant. I don't want to go. I want to stay here with my mum. And I'm not going.
Fair enough.
So I stayed, So I stayed in Essex and did some work at my mum's office. And then after that, we had our baby and she was amazing. And it lasted 61 3/4 hours, my labour.
Blimey. Oh my God.
I know. So long.
That is such a long time, isn't it? Oh my God.
I know there were periods of sleep within it. And I mean, the beginning was I would sleep and then labour and then sleep and then labour. And then it was just like hours in a bath and then on the bed and like it was nuts. It was just days. It was days and days. And then I had my baby. And then within 8 weeks, we had gone back to Egypt. So Nell's first passport photo was when she was 5 days old, and my Ben was holding her up, and she's got like a cardigan. His hands are inside her cardigan, holding her up like that. She looks like Phil Mitchell, who's completely bald. That's her passport, and she had to keep it until she was 5, and she didn't look like that anymore.
Oh, brilliant.
And then we went back to Egypt and stayed there for a little while. And then we went to Pakistan. And then we lived in Pakistan for a couple of years. And that was between the ages of 1 and 3 for now. So she was like a toddler and we lived on a compound. And that was, it was it's like Tory Butlins in 50-degree heat. That's what it was. It was nuts. So really nuts experience in hindsight. And I did make some really lovely friends and I've held on to some of them, but far fewer. With each posting I've come away with fewer people that I think, right, I love you and I'm staying in contact with you. From Bangladesh I had a list of about 30 people where it's like, I will love you forever, I will never stop communicating. And then in reality that's fizzled down to about 4 over time. And and then from Pakistan there weren't quite so many. Didn't harvest quite as many in that world. And then we went to Serbia for 6 months, and then we went to Ethiopia, and then we came here to Swansea because actually the pandemic meant that our time in Ethiopia was cut short, and our long-term plan had always been to come to Swansea, and then it was just the plan because we had no other overseas sort of plans were coming up at that point. The British Council completely changed shape. That's where Ben works, my husband works, and so then we had to come home and like create a life in Swansea, and it was so nuts. Just coming back and going, right then, this group of people, and I've been approaching the world in this like, right, everybody's here to make friends then, are they? Like in those kinds of communities where everyone's transient, everyone's really sort of cards on the table, I'm looking for some friends, this is what I'm doing. And then you know, like a sort of quiet rural Welsh school. Like,
who've all known each other forever.
They've known each other forever. Their grandparents knew each other, and that I think I met one man who I got on with, and I was like, all right, okay, good. I found someone I can stand and talk to. And then I met his wife as well, and they have become my dearest friends. And their daughter is now so close to my daughter that they call each other sisters because they're so good. And we are in a band together. Those are the 2 people I'm in a band with. So I did find my people, but I felt like I just arrived and went, you're not like that. Okay, I get it.
Who's this crazy English girl?
I know. I just pitched it completely wrong. It's just like, I'm not finding my people. Where are my people? And then I gradually like met one person and another person, and drew people into me, and realized like that my whole experience of going overseas has completely altered the way I connect with people. And the people that I that I connect with. I really love them. I really like want to be with them and spend time with them. And that sort of it's changed the way I approach people and life in general, because it's my life is now all about connecting with people, because that's actually the thing that I find makes me feel most at home, is when I find some people who I like and who like me and who we can laugh. I like the laughing thing, like that makes
Mm.
me feel like, ah, we are friends. Ah. When you find
Yeah.
a mate and you laugh with them.
Yeah, it's weird here. The friendships are quite transient, and you have to like and the dynamics move around all the time. So you have I was talking about it with Ellie last night because I was kind of giving her the rundown of like things you're going to have to get used to. Small talk's one of them. Like you will have an opinion on tractors, the weather, gossip, because that's just all there is to do. And you're talking to people that you don't really have much in common with, but you're all
Yeah.
together all the time. So you will just find something to talk about, because otherwise, you're not going to, you definitely don't want to talk about their politics or like, don't want to pick too deep, because you're probably going to end up really not liking them. So it's best to kind of keep things a bit surface. But then friendship groups just move around constantly, because it's actually a really transient group of people. Even though you think, oh, it's this fixed 500, it's not. The 500's actually, you think about Kentwell, it was never the same group of people every year. You'd have some people that were the same each year, but someone new would
Mm,
come and it would completely change the group, and it would change who was hanging out with who and who was going out with who. And it's like that. And you might
mm,
have people that haven't been for a few years, but then they come back, and their family and people who know them really well, and they know them better than they know you, but they haven't been there for the whole 5 years you've been there, because they've been off having a family or whatever it is they're doing, or at university or whatever. So yeah, things move around constantly, which is interesting, because it means that it's not boring. Like you're living in this one
mm.
place, but it's not dull, because everything's always shifting. But also,
Did you
yeah, and
say the
also,
population is about 500? Is
yeah, it's
that
500 people. Yeah.
500? I swapped ears just as you said the number, but
Yeah.
I thought you said 500. Yeah,
But it's
that's really
really not
tiny, isn't it?
fixed. It's tiny, but it's not fixed. It definitely
Mm,
is much bigger than that, because it's moving around. It's not the same 500 every season.
mm,
Even
mm.
the winter's different to summer. You get new seasonal workers every year. That shifts everything around. Like me now having Ellie here, that's completely changed my opera, whatever the word is, operandi, whatever
MO?
the thing is. Yeah,
Modus
modus
operandi.
operandi. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Because now I've got a friend, I've got a friend who is my
Yeah.
friend. And I do have friends here, but like Charlie was my friend and is still my friend, but she's just had a baby and she's moving to Alderney. So I'm not going to see her anymore. She's going to be gone. And that's really
Oh,
sad.
that's
But
sad.
Ellie's here. So that's
Yeah.
kind of filled a void that would have been felt otherwise. And like I went away
Really
on the
suits your
pilgrimage.
personality, actually, having that transient
Yeah, in a way. Yeah,
nature
in
of
a
the people
way.
around you. Yeah.
But I do also really like my deep friendship. So it is the thing that
Mm,
in Brighton we spent, and it was against my character to stay fixed somewhere for as long as I did in Brighton, to be there for 20 years, although I left and
mm,
came back again. But and the group shifted. It was our group that was very Kentwell
mm.
based. And then that formed into the next group, which was the more sort of via Adam, but then also Emlyn, that kind of Jimmy and Mish and all of that lot. And
Yeah.
they're part of the group that's still there now, but that became the kind of people that we met through Daryl and Roe getting together and all of that lot. So yeah, it just sort of turned into, but sticking around and dealing with the icky bits, and it not always just being
Yeah.
the like fun, just met someone, oh, you're great time, like the honeymoon period, to actually get past the honeymoon period and do the sticky bit has been really useful. It was a really good life lesson for me. And they are my deepest friends. Like you are, Dennis is. We've been through so much together. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so I do miss not having that here, because the people here do have that with each other. And I'm just kind of
Mm.
in the mix. But because I know I've got my foundations, they're just elsewhere. It's like I've grown a really long
Yeah.
tree bit that's just gone all the way over here. But I still do have my roots and my foundation really firm and deep. So I feel supported. And even just Brighton as well, like knowing that there's a whole city that thinks the same way as me, that I'm not weird compared to them. It doesn't matter if I'm weird here, because I'm like, yeah, but I'm not on my own. I'm not the only person who thinks like this. It's just here I might be, but I'm not in the
Yeah,
world. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
funny.
nuts living in Brighton together. And that time of it was my because I moved there to go to university and we stayed there for another 3 years afterwards. And it was when I was young. I
Yeah,
associate Brighton with being young because I was still forming. It's still in the sort of recently fledged era
mm,
and living with you and stuff. But yeah, it's such a spectacular place to be, and I really, really enjoyed it. But I think because my departure from Brighton, it felt quite sudden, really, because I was loving it and really, really enjoying it. And then Mary, my stepmom, died, and I went home for sort of 3 months to go and be with my family while she was in the hospice. And then I came back to Brighton and was like, no, this is a pleasure-based city, and I'm not in the mood. And
mm,
that was the point at which I left and went to go and like find a different life. And I didn't even know what I was going to do when I left. I just went, I can't be here anymore. Because at that
yeah,
point we were all still in the thick of going to free parties at the weekends, um and that was the point at which I was seeing Nathan as well, your brother Nathan.
yeah,
But the whole kind of like going out, having fun, doing fun. Like just like it was not what I was in the mood for at that point. I
no,
was like, I don't want fun. I want to go home and cry. I want to drink
yeah,
tea in a chair.
yeah,
Like, and I just felt like this kind of completely different version of myself emerging as I left Brighton. And then on the day that my brother and my dad came to pick me up, and they were so fast. They just came in, and I was like, "Oh, I'll probably be packing all day. Like, I'll just put this in this box, this in this box." And they came in, and they like scooped up my life, got it in a van. Within an hour, we were on the road, and I would just remember like driving out of Brighton, holding my bromeliad plant on my lap and crying, crying, because it was so dramatic, this exit, but. It was also the right thing to do, and
yeah,
I just felt like a kind of gotta go. I don't know how or why, but I have to just go. And then yeah, and then I did. And then I went to Essex for 6 months and went, what am I doing here? Like, it's been 20 years time not to
yeah,
be here.
yeah,
What am I
exactly.
doing?
I definitely don't want to be here.
Exactly. And then Leonie, my friend from Manchester, she came to visit me and she said, you know what you need? You need a bit of northern grit. She's
Mm,
our friend from Essex, obviously, but she had moved up to Manchester and then she came down and said, you have never lived outside the southeast of England and you need a bit of northern grit. It'll be good for you. She said, I'll
mm,
find you a room in a house. And if I find you one, just come and stay, because she was living in this area that was quite cheap. And she just said, just come and see if you like it, and then get a job through an employment agency and just try it out. And
mm.
I'm so glad. It was such a good piece of advice. Like,
Yeah.
thank you.
And
Try
it was as
something
well, because
new.
that was kind of what I did in reverse, because I went to university in Nottingham and I
Yeah,
was there
because you were
for,
at Nottingham.
yeah, and I was there for more than just the 3 years, because I think I was there a year before, because John was already there, and I was there for a year before with him, and then I lived there for a year after. So I think I was there for 5 years in total. And although it wasn't totally north, it was Midlands, I still had, yeah, it
It's
was still
quite
the outside
different.
of the southeast. Yeah, it had
Mm,
that kind of more
mm.
northern edge to it, which I do definitely, I definitely felt like that was a good thing to do. And we'd come down to the
Yeah,
parties in Brighton and we're like, I really want to be in Brighton, but I'm also having a nice time up north.
yeah.
Yeah, so I swapped and came down. I didn't mean to be in Brighton for 20 years. Like, I loved
You
it.
just tripped up and fell
I
over.
did. Well, it was. It was partly because I met Emlyn just as I was leaving. So I met
Oh
Emlyn
yeah,
when I moved to London, and I was in London
I
for a year,
remember
and he
that.
came and lived with me for a bit. And then he was just like, should we go to Brighton? Because he'd only just got there. So he was right in the middle of the honeymoon, like the start of the
Yeah,
honeymoon. And I just went, all right. And then I ended up having a second Brighton honeymoon because I was involved in his honeymoon. So it was like,
yeah.
okay, actually, this is, and we did have an amazing house. That Studio Wonderland was incredible.
Oh yeah, that was
So
lovely.
yeah, and I was away all the time with the Fools. So it didn't really work with me being in London, because in London there isn't that fixed community. It means that
Mm,
me going away so much and then coming back, I didn't have people to come back to, and I didn't, yeah, I just didn't have that like everything's easy. I know where it is. You know, it was just a mission. Everything was a mission because I'd have to find a place to go buy the thing. You know, it was just, everything was annoying. Whereas in Brighton, I knew where everything was. So it ended up
Yeah, you
working
needed a
really well as a
home base, didn't
base.
you?
Yeah, it was a good
Mm,
base. And it meant
mm,
that Emlyn had people around and was having a fun time when I was away. You know, he had his people. So it just ended up working. And then I did really appreciate the sort of more deeply ingrained friendships that came from sticking around. But it was the
mm.
graveyard of ambition, wasn't it? That's what people call Brighton. The graveyard of ambition. You just ended up like staying there and having a nice time rather than getting on with your life. Whereas everyone who left, it felt like they went off to like forge their careers, and Dennis did, and Seth did, and people did. But I think not, it's interesting because even like Steve Glacier, he did quite well. It's just interesting how we were a very ambitious group of people. Like it was very much
Yeah, we
part of who
were.
we were as young people. Because I know
Yeah.
loads of young people in Essex, and you know, just generally, you meet people around the place. That it's not normal for people to be as ambitious as we all were. We were all like, it was a given we were going to do. We were going to be somebody and do something great with our
I
lives,
think it's the
and we
time
all
as
have.
well. It's the
Yeah,
90s.
it was
It's
the
the
'90s, so I
time
think
of
we
the
felt, but it
90s.
was also our group because it's not like everyone in Braintree was thinking like that. Like me and my
No.
brother were quite different from everyone in Braintree because we did feel like we wanted to go out and do something. We were the only people we knew that went to university.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I thought it was great, and I think we all went and forged interesting careers and did interesting things with our lives. But I don't think any of it turned out how we imagined it would.
No,
I think it's
no.
interesting. I've loved every second of it all, but it
Yeah,
definitely
we were
what you
really
imagine.
fortunate. We were so lucky to be born at that at the time that we were, with the personalities that we had, and then to
Yeah,
find each other as well. I
yeah,
think that we were. It was like we had an ally. As soon as we met, we were one another's ally. And
yeah,
then you went off and did something different. So you weren't in Brighton for the first 3 years of me being there, I think, and then you were. But you were always my ally. Whenever we used to come up to Nottingham, go to your parties, and then you were mine. You've
yeah,
always been my Jolie.
yeah, totally.
That's like in your
Yes, exactly. It's been really nice to like spend time with Pisceans, like because Charlie's a Piscean and obviously my mum is, and so are you. And I'm always like looking at them going, oh, that's why Saffron does that. You're all
I
like,
do think it's so weird the way you group me together with all the same people who are born in the same month as me. Like, it's and you're
I'm like,
always
oh,
saying
that's
like,
so
"Oh,
Pisces.
you're so secretive. It's because you're a Piscean." Like, "Oh, you're so like this because you're a Piscean," and I'm like this because I am a saggy hairy
Capricorn.
ass.
Saggy hairy ass, Capricorn. It is, it's
Yeah,
so funny. I love
I
it.
do get it. I do observe similarities as well in other,
Yeah.
people who are born at a similar time as me. And I've got lots of Aquarians, I've got three Aquarian brothers,
God.
and lots of Aquarian partners, and my daughter's an Aquarian, and yeah, I have lots of connections with Aquarians, and I don't read about it, I don't subscribe to it, but I can't deny that there are a lot of Aquarians in my life.
Yes. It's weird, isn't it? Like when I lived in
Yeah.
Brighton, all of my friends were from Scorpio, basically. So from September,
Oh,
October,
right.
well, October through to March. So everyone's born in winter. Like I have six, seven, eight like good friends coming up on Facebook every day throughout that period of time, and it's ridiculous to the point where I just thought that that's when most people were born. And then I googled it once, and most people are born in August. I was like, I literally don't know anyone born in August. Like, what the fuck? And then I came here, and it's like I flipped the wheel, and everyone I know is born from March through to September. So I now have got all these people in my life that are like Librans and Virgos and Leos and that and Taurus, and I'm just like, ah, and it's interesting because I didn't have them before, that I'm like getting to know the
Yeah.
signs because I'm like, oh right, that's a Libra trait. And what's also weird is in my previous life, I had Nathan and Ro and Emlyn all born at the same time. And here I've got Ellie, Diz, and Ash all born at the same time. So it's like I seem
Yeah.
to have my partner, my husband, be on the same day as one of my best mates, and like another best mate be right kind of next to it, because it's just, yeah, it's just
Mm.
weird. It's like, why is it always in threes? I have like
They match
my husband
together.
and two other people born at the same time, just to really make sure I don't forget my husband's birthday. It's kind of handy. Yeah, it's weird. And then there's also a thing of like my birthday's on New Year's Eve and all my things line up. Like my mum's birthday's the same week as Mother's Day. And just things like that. It's like everything lines up. It's like, is it? If you're born on New Year, everything lines up. That's handy. It's just silly. It's my brain. But yeah. We should pull some cards. Let's pull some cards. If you enjoy this podcast, then please consider supporting me on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Jolie Rose. When this comes out, it will be the day before Beltane, which is really exciting, although it does look like it's going to be raining, which is a bit frustrating. But we shall keep our fingers crossed. We're doing a dispatcho with Shaman Ben and Claire Cole, who was in the interview that I did a little while ago about herd time, where she works with horses. And we're going to do an offering to Pachamama, to Mama Earth, and to the gods and to the Celtic gods, and just pray for sunshine and good weather. It's been such a glorious month, and then it looks like it's going to rain, which makes getting ready for it all a lot harder. I've come down with a cold today as well, so makes it a bit difficult because I've got a sore throat, and the last thing I feel like doing is spending a whole day running around and trying to put on a festival in the rain. And it's the second year in a row that's been wet, so it does make it extremely frustrating. However, it still will be worth it. It's a beautiful celebration of this incredible time of year, of springtime. What an honour and a joy it is to be alive in the most beautiful planet in the whole known universe. And we are so lucky to be here. So I am also privileged to be celebrating Beltane with wonderful people on my favourite little paradise island. So that's not much to complain about in the grand scheme of things. And then once that's settled and we've packed down, I will start advertising the Which Fall Are You course, where I support people to find their archetypes. It is the most profound work I've ever done. It drills deep down into who you are, why you're here, and magic, and reminds you that you're a work of art and that you are a work of magic. So if that's interesting to you and something you would like to know more about, then watch this space, and I will be sharing more information in the next few weeks. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you listening. If you're unable to support on Patreon, then please do tell people about the podcast. Word of mouth is everything. And yeah, if you sign up through Apple, then make sure you do it through the website and not through the app on your phone, because otherwise Apple greedily steals loads of the money, and that's not really fair. So sign up through the website of Patreon if you are an Apple user. But whatever you're able to do makes a huge difference. I really appreciate you listening and being here. So thank you, sending you much, much love. And now on with the show. So you're not going to be able to see. You're not going to be able to see.
No, let me do the thing where I send it backwards. Hang on, because then I can see tiny you. Or can I? Are you still there?
Yes,
tiny
I'm here.
you. Yes, I can see you.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, tiny you.
Hi, tiny. So there'll probably be a bit of a lag, but if I put my finger up, and you can just say stop when you want me to stop, and we'll see what the universe wants us to.
Stop. Oh, sorry, your hand started.
I hadn't started. I was like,
look at your neck.
Right. Yeah, they're teeth. They're all white. There's actually one gold one. That one's gold. Oh, look there, you can sort of see. But yeah, one gold tooth, and then they're all white teeth. Yeah. You know, because why not?
Okay, I'm ready.
Right, so you say stop.
Stop.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Ooh, it's the Prince of Wands, who's this dude. He's on like a chariot. And it's very like liney. There's lots of lines, so it kind of feels quite energetic. And he's cutting through stuff. So with the swords, it's to do with the mind and thinking. So do you feel like you're, I don't know, learning lots or cutting through kind of brain foggy? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like you're kind of charging through, trying to break through something kind of intellectual. So it's to do with heady thinking type
Well, that's
stuff.
I am very heady at the moment. Yeah, I'm at a point where I'm quite busy in work, and so I'm kind of just churning all the time. And yesterday I was on my way for a swim, and I just thought, oh, I can't wait till I finish swimming, and my brain will shut up.
Mm.
I'm just like, I think, what this happened? What happened? It's a lot of noise in my brain. So yeah, might relate to that. I've got a very noisy brain, and
Do you
I
do
do
meditation or
overthink
anything like
things.
that? Do you
No,
meditate or anything? No.
no.
No,
I'm at a
I
point in
did.
life where it's really difficult to carve out quiet time, like hence
Yeah.
sitting in a car on a hill to try and have a private conversation. Meditation isn't. This is, I think, in 10 years' time, I'll look back and I'll be nostalgic about this period. But this is just one of those periods that's just so
Mm.
busy. Like there's no time for it. There's no time for meditation. Although that is traditionally when they say that is the time to meditate,
You
isn't it?
probably
That
need it the
if you
most. Yeah,
haven't got time
exactly.
to meditate,
Yeah.
you definitely need to meditate. Like that's what you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
listen for years. And so yeah, I've got a very busy mind at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
I get up at 6 and my day begins at 6 and I start like doing tasks. I walk the dog, I like do some stuff for the lunches, and then I walk the dog, take the dog out, take my daughter to school, come back, start working, finish working, cook the dinner, or do something to do with dinner, or walk the dog again. He's quite a big dog, needs a lot of walks. and and then I basically cooking or sitting down. I don't sit down, sorry, until about 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock most days. So I start at 6 and I sit down at 7. That's 13 hours of
Wow.
just constant. And that's most people's lives, though, isn't it? That that's
Yeah.
the reality of working and having a child. So there's just no kind of pause or reflection at the
Yeah.
moment.
And
When
are
there
you
is, I really enjoy it, but I have to squirrel myself away and sit down and write. Writing really helps me to sit and reflect, actually. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't get to do it very much. So yeah, very
No.
heady, very
Yeah, I loved
busy.
that you were a writer as well. That was one of the things that we've sort of shared a passion for over the years of
Yeah,
writing. I really love. I'm
I
not right.
wish I was
I'm
doing it
looking
more.
forward yeah, well, I do too. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to everything calming down. My brain is absolutely screwed right now. Like I can't wait for Beltane to be over. I kind of wish it wasn't happening, but I'm also looking forward to it. It's going to be nice, but I mean, I had a week this week where I could have done something for Beltane, done nothing. It's in 2 weeks' time. And like I'm so overwhelmed that I've just literally done nothing. I've just been like, I've got loads of things I need to do, and they're really important that they get done. I'm not going to do any of them. But there's loads of like complicated, sort of emotional relationship stuff with people being dicks. So I'm kind of waiting for the right time to speak to them so that they say yes rather than no. And just trying to like, oh, there's just so much nonsense to negotiate with it all. Um, yeah, it's not as clear cut as me just booking up a supplier to do something. The supplier is a person that I know that's got maybe some issue with me at the moment for no reason as well, just politics or like whatever it is. And I've got to wait for the right moment to catch them to hope that they will say yes because they could just say no. And it's just like, oh God. So yeah, it's not as simple as just putting on a festival. I mean, it's never going to be simple to put on a festival, but it's got an added layer of complication that you literally know all the suppliers.
You're going to have to do this every year for the whole of your life. Like
I'm
this
not
is your
going
wedding
to. Part of
anniversary.
me's well, next year I did sort of intend to put on two more festivals, as you do,
I'm not going
as I
to. I'm
do.
going to do two different ones.
I'm gonna add to the mix, and now I'm kind of yeah. It's interesting because the menopause is just sort of making me just go. Do you know what? I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered with any of it. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I am going to do it at the moment. I'm going to have to just see how things go. I need Beltane to finish, and I just want to be able to relax. And because I do a morning practice, so I do 20 minutes yoga, and I'll meditate, and I'll pull a
Oh,
card.
lovely.
And when I'm in my place, like when I'm well and everything's going well, that's what I do. And
Mm.
I need it so badly at the moment, but I can't. There's nowhere for me to put the yoga mat down because there's stuff everywhere, and we're in the middle
Oh
of
yeah,
moving and
yeah,
that's why I'm doing a really good job of not of procrastinating and not doing any work for Beltane because I just start unpacking something or packing something. Like
yeah,
I had half an hour
yeah.
this morning, I could have done something. Instead, I hung some clothes up. Just like, I've got really good ADHD excuses for not doing the
Yeah,
work that's a bit
you've got a
awkward
lot
and
going on at this moment in
yeah,
time.
it's driving me
I wish I
crazy.
did yoga in the mornings. I used to do so much yoga. And
I
now,
love
like, I
yoga.
get up in the morning, I take my dog out of the crate and he stretches, and I just copy what he does. I just do the same as him. Just stretch up and then
Oh,
stretch down. There we go. That's my yoga.
perfect. Well, at least you're getting a
Just
downward
mirror
dog in.
him. Yeah, yeah, get that in.
Oh,
Morning,
it just makes
sweetheart.
you feel so much younger doing yoga. Like our
It
bodies
does.
need
It
it
really
as we're getting
does.
older. We do need to do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't done for, it's only been about 2 months maybe. But I feel completely overwhelmed. And I know it's because I'm not doing the things that I need to do. Like you were saying, you don't meditate at the points where you actually need to meditate. It's like,
Yeah.
what I need to
Yeah.
do right now. It's not wake up at 7 in the
Yeah.
morning and just start thinking about all the things that I haven't done that I'm still not going to go and do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to beat myself up for it in the morning. Yeah, hopefully I'll get them done soon. I
I'm
haven't.
sure you will.
I've got a picture of you. You know the picture of you, me and Dennis cackling at Humphrey's wedding. You're on the side of my
Oh,
writing
yeah.
desk where I'm really sunburnt. I'm bright red because I'm completely sunburnt. That's on my writing desk. I just looked down and I was like, oh, look, there's actually Saffron there cackling with
Oh.
Dennis.
We've got so many physical features in one another's houses. I often see things that I've given you in photographs that you post on Instagram. I'm like, oh, I gave you that. Can't. I made her that.
I love that. In fact,
It's
there's even another
lovely.
picture of you there. I've got a framed picture of you just there. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but it's you on a beach.
Wow, my arms outstretched.
Yeah, you're
That's
like
amazing.
doing that. You're doing some pose.
Am
I think
I?
you're sort of going, here's the beach or something. Yeah, you are. You're like, this is the beach. I don't know what beach it was. I was obviously with you. I don't really
I
remember
think we
being with
went
you.
to Caswell together when you came here. That's a
Oh,
bloody
okay.
gorgeous beach. There's
Oh,
like
nice.
cliffs up the side. I went there with my sister and her two little boys the other week, and yeah, they were scrambling up the cliffs. That was all quite stressful. Like, perhaps we should have chosen a different beach.
Whoops, sorry.
Oh, yes, it's lethal. I forgot. Sorry.
Do you find that the menopause has affected your brain much?
Yeah, I do. But I also I started taking HRT 6 years ago.
Oh,
And so
wow. Ages ago.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I had an early menopause, and actually if I think back to what it was like prior to taking HRT, I was beginning to lose my marbles, and like I was making a it was Nell's sixth birthday, and I was making her a six-tier birthday cake, and it was hot because it was Ethiopia, and I was struggling to get everything to stay in a big pile, in a big heap of cakes. And I was just about to smash that cake. I was so angry. It wasn't working. I was just about to smash it. And then Ben came in and was like, don't smash the cake. And just said, right, okay, go somewhere and get cool. And so I went to like this little area that was just ceramic tiles, and took off all my clothes and lay down on the ceramic tiles, and then felt calm and was like, okay, cool. Now I'm not hot anymore. I do feel a bit calmer. But just that moment there, that those are all insane thought processes.
Yeah.
Just, house full of people, go and find somewhere to lie down on some cold tiles, and smashing the cake that I'd been freezing those cakes, and then I brought them all out ready for the grand reveal. And then when it came to the moment, I was ready to smash the cake up. But there were lots of other sort of and it was heat as well for me, like the kind of the
Hot
surges of
flashes.
heat when I was
Yeah.
living somewhere so hot anyway. And my mum came to visit me and bought me this portable fan that I still carry around with me because it's so good. But that yeah, it was hot, and I was angry
Yeah.
all the time, really cross about mainly like my husband's domestic failings. So a lot
Yes,
of it was
that's definitely
directed
what
at
Diz is
him.
getting. Diz is
Yeah,
starting to get that.
exactly.
Like we've been together 5 years and we've totally been like so nice to each other and not argued. And then, I mean, we've just moved house, so we're tired and stressed and stuff. But I am just like,
Yeah,
could you not just do some fucking unpacking?
yeah.
If you
It
walk
is. It's
past the
hard.
thing, can't you just pick it up? Like it's not,
Yeah,
yeah,
living with another person is, well, it's lovely. It is, you make the choice. You're like, right, okay, I'm gonna live with this person. I love them, and then you kind of navigate your way around, like living together and sharing space together. And then once you start going through menopause, you're like, I forgive you nothing.
yeah,
All of those little idiosyncrasies that were charming to begin with.
yeah.
That's yeah, oh yeah.
Stop farting.
I remember Ben saying to me at one point, like, there's a lot of standing and looming over me, wielding a spatula at the moment. And I was like, I feel like if you weren't always in a chair, I wouldn't always be looming over you. But just
Brilliant.
the kind of, you need to still be able to communicate and find a way to communicate. And HRT has definitely helped to kind of, okay, we live together. This is okay. We can laugh about things. Oh, you haven't done the bins.
Oh, so the house is full of rubbish for another week.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is,
The joys
we've
of
been
living with a
together now
man.
22 years. Ben and I have been together now. It's a
22
long
years.
time. Yeah, and
That's
we've lived together for
insane.
20 years. So yeah, we've kind of worked out how to do it now. But
Oh
yeah,
my God,
it's a
that's
really long time,
insane.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And it's funny because I'll quote things that he said to me, and he's like, "That is I wasn't even 30. You can't repeat me back to myself. They're taking me out of context." I'm like, "No, I'm not. Like, I was drunk. I was 27. Like, you can't really say that that's my opinion now. I think I can."
It's the real you.
Yeah.
OG you. You're just not keeping it
But yeah,
real,
you
real
kind of grow
anymore.
together. You just
Yeah.
sort of because I've changed too. I've changed more than he has, I think, because I used to drink and go out, and I used to not be a mum with an entire kind of focus on another person. But
Mm,
her list and her life is my life. And then, but the drinking thing is the most obvious thing because with menopause, I just suddenly couldn't drink anymore. I just didn't want to, and I've got no problem with Ben continuing to drink at all. But that I think is a bit boring for him because like we'll sit and we'll have a chat and he'll start having a couple of beers. Like he only really drinks on a Friday and a Saturday and have a couple of beers and just be kind of getting into the mode of like time to have a chat, go out or not go out, but I'll just go to bed because I'm like, right, okay, bedtime then. It's 9 o'clock. And he's just had his first couple of beers. It's Friday night. He's ready to, like, there's a bar over the road that he could go to if he wanted to. I don't really want to, but it's a bit sad for him to, like, his drinking companion of 20 years is just like, that is my bedtime now.
see you
That's a bit
later.
sad.
Night, night.
But there's a whole rest of day to hang out with me, and I'm far better at 6 in the morning. If only you could see it. He never sees that.
Because he never gets up. It's hungover.
No, 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 he's not. No, that's unfair to say
Yeah, no, he
to
doesn't get hungover.
paint him as a person. He just is.
No.
He's an evening person. They both are actually. My
Yeah.
daughter is as well. They're really wide awake in the evening, and then in the morning it's like trying to rescue someone from a swamp of sleep. Both of them, they're ridiculous. And I'm really wide awake, and so's the dog. And so I end up doing the kind of first walk around the block and stuff. And then we wake them up and like, come on, Pluto, give him a lick, give her a lick. Come on, help me wake them up. And then in the evening, Pluto and I are like, time to go to our respective beds. I don't share a bed with the dog. And then the others are like, I can hear them moving around. 2 hours later, they're still like plonking around and talking to each other and stuff. Midnight. What are you doing? She's 12. She should be asleep. Someone tell her to go to bed.
But not me,
But yeah.
obviously.
No, obviously not me. But that is the kind of that's his genetic gift to her. Is this sort of, and I'm much
Night
more
owl.
forgiving of his inability to get up in the morning. Now I've seen it in my own child, and I love
Yeah.
everything about her. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's genetic. All right, you're not just lazy and can't get up in the morning because obviously, if it's the same is true of now, then it's all forgivable.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Emily was a night owl, but I'm a morning person. Diz literally will just sleep all the time, all the time. He
He's
naps.
just
He's
sleepy.
taught me to nap. So I now nap.
Oh,
He'll come
lovely.
home and he sleeps in the day. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever napped at all until I got here. And then
No, well, you don't
just,
stop. So
yeah, I don't
there is not
stop.
going to be much falling
There's
asleep
never going to
while
be.
you're walking.
When are you going to nap while you're in the middle of opening Boomtown? Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, no, I love napping now. Oh, I love a nap. I even last night I had to get the podcast that came out today edited and it was coming out today, so I needed to do it. But we just gone to try and get the cat back, which we did, and then he's gone back again.
Oh,
So I
you
need
got
to,
your cat back. Good.
well, yeah, but we're gonna need to I think we're going to need to go and get him and put him in a box and bring him back and keep him in the house again for a bit longer because he's just
Yeah,
gone back over
yeah.
there. He's not there. He's not here this morning. He's gone back over there again. So he's not thinking of here as home. And I think he was maybe a bit of a dominant cat back in his domain, and I think he
Mm,
knows where to get food from. So I
mm.
don't think we're going to be able to keep him here until he really actually thinks of here as home and gets fed here and stuff.
Apparently, butter on their paws helps, but some cats just take longer than others. And butter on
Yeah.
their paws just covers your house in butter as well, so it's
Well,
actually quite
yeah, I
irritating.
think it's just, I think he needs to just be kept in longer
Yeah,
because it's
he
such a
does need
big
to be kept
house.
inside.
It didn't feel
Yeah,
like his territory yet. So I think he just needed to be inside a bit longer.
yeah. There's
Um,
an argument, isn't there, for keeping them in one room and then in two rooms, and
that's what
like
we
so
did. Yeah, we
gradually.
did
You
that. We
did.
gradually extended it, and then Sol, the other cat, had gone in and out through the patio door a few times. So I thought, oh well,
Mm,
he knows what he's doing. So the night where we let them both go out, Noxie hadn't done that yet, but Sol was there. So we thought, well, he'd find Sol and follow Sol and then come back. But he didn't. He managed to find his way home and then just went home.
how
But I
far is
think
it to
he's
your
got
old house?
not far. It's literally a
Okay.
field. Yeah. So the edge of his territory previously is like one field and a road and a lane away from us. So he's
Mm.
finding his way back really easy. But and because I think he knows how to get food back there, I think it's going to be really hard to get him to like
Does he
stay
come
here.
home after he's been over there and done his hunting and done his thing? Does he come back to you
No,
here?
he's not coming back here yet. He hasn't come back
No.
here yet. And
Because
we
if he
could
comes
just
back to you, then there's no problem with him being
no,
so
that's
far away
fine,
because you
but he
don't have
hasn't come back.
traffic, do
He's not
you?
come back once
Yeah.
yet. So last night we went and found him and like squeaked
Mm.
at him all the way back to our house and made him follow us, but it took quite an effort to get him to do it. And then he came back
Mm.
and we fed him, and then he went back out again and he's not here this morning for breakfast, so he's back over there. But because I think
Mm.
he knows how to get food, I don't think he's gonna voluntarily come back over here. I think we need to like keep him here for a bit again. Um,
How does he get food? Is he like hunting or is he
No,
are other
because
people
people got
feeding
cat
him?
flaps that aren't chipped ones, so he's just going to be
He's
going
stealing
into
other cats'
yeah, yeah.
food.
He's going to be knowing because he was always so much fatter than Soul, so he was clearly
Mm.
getting more food than Soul was, and yeah, he's just food obsessed. So if there's any
Mm.
cat flaps that he could get into and get food, he would have been doing it, and yeah. So I think he's got some access to some food over there. So yeah, I think we're going to need to actually
Mm.
like nab him and bring him back for a bit. But yeah. Anyway, let's pull
You
another
lovely
card.
boy. Stop.
Interference. So again, this is swords. So this is probably thinking and mind and stuff as well. What's how do you feel about what's going on in the world at the moment and our places in it and everything that's going on?
Pretty terrified, really. I mean, I feel like if you're not terrified, you're not paying attention. But yeah, I don't necessarily feel as though I'm well informed enough to answer that question
Mm.
because I'm definitely guilty of burying my head in the sand. But more than that, I feel like I'm very guilty of just focusing on my pixel and doing what I can within my own pixel. Like to quote
Hmm.
you back at yourself, but it's very much like I'm very kind of working in place and trying to connect people to each other in my because my job is to do with connecting people to each other and volunteering and building community resilience. And so I feel like my whole life is about connecting people and loving people and doing things in as positive a way as I possibly can. But I don't feel as though I'm doing anything on a broader scale. And I feel a bit like I will say something ill-informed if I try and comment on what's happening in
No,
the
but
broader
that's
stage. Apart from it being terrifying,
yeah.
I feel
But
like
what you just said is
yeah,
what I kind of was interested in anyway, because it's like how does one navigate like how we're all I think I actually think that it's a weapon that is being used against us, the media. So I think if you were engaging with that, in some ways you're being colonized or abused by the powers that be to make you feel scared and incapable and like
yeah,
frozen
I
with
feel
fear.
scared but not incapable. I think
Great. That's really good.
having had because I've got a child and I have to create a better world for her, I definitely feel as though I've got to try and remain optimistic. And some of that is about not absorbing stuff that I can't process, and some of it is just about doing what I can. And so
Hmm.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I read I read articles on my phone, and
Hmm.
and then I'll listen to the news, and then I'll go and see some people, like work groups, and I'll sort of chuck out what I've heard on the radio, and then I'll listen to a variety of their opinions on it, and I find that quite a useful way to just get a kind of broad understanding of what people think. But also, my own opinion will quite often be just fury and outrage and
Mm.
disgust, and and those are, and I'm quite conflict avoidant. I'm really conflict avoidant, and so um I have to just, and my mind is really busy, so I quite often will go, oh my God, I'm so furious, I'm so furious. Oh, but I've also got to reply to this email, that email, this email,
Mm.
and I've got to have 4 Teams meetings in a day, and I've got to, like, because I'm busy and my mind is busy. I feel like there's this sort of low level fear and disgust that I'm just sort of not able to do very much about. I'm just having to push it aside and go, okay,
Mm.
that's all awful. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I think that's what
yeah,
we're all having to do, really, isn't it?
I think
Everyone's
so.
like,
Yeah, it feels like that's quite a common reaction. Yeah, yeah, that's how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah. I feel, yeah, I don't know what interference for me. Yeah, I think it is just just the speed. For me, it's the speed at which we're expected to live at. That's the thing that I find the most interfering. That
Mm,
I don't want to have to live so fast. And
mm,
internet and online, I'd love to go offline and be analog. And I feel
mm,
like
mm.
the whole like the revolution will not be televised. I'm like, the revolution will be just to literally switch your internet off.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, oh, you
yeah.
suddenly have no control over me, but they do, because you wouldn't be able to buy tickets to anything, and you wouldn't be able to get
And
anywhere or
that's
do
it. Like, you
anything, or your
turn off
banking or
from the
anything.
internet. Yeah, you turn
Yeah.
yourself off from the internet, and you don't connect in the same way. Like, I realised that Ben and his friend, who neither of them are on Facebook, had missed out on this event that they would really have loved.
Mm.
And I felt, oh, I should have known that because I was on Facebook. I should have told them, of, your favorite band is launching their album. You could go to this evening. They missed it completely because no one told them about it, and they're not on Facebook. And then, I met a woman who, she was doing a pilgrimage, actually. She was walking the land. She has no internet, absolutely nothing. She wrote my phone number down with a pencil. And I was like, oh, you're gorgeous. She was absolutely wonderful. And I'll never see her again. And,
Yeah.
what she's doing is so small, it's so personal. And she was with 2 other people who also don't have internet. They don't have any connection outside of what they're doing in the immediate moment. And
Yeah.
yes, it's valuable to them, but they're not having as big an impact as they could be. The
Yeah.
things that she's learning are probably really interesting, really worth sharing. Like everything about your, I know you generally do tend to live through dialogue and communication, but everything about your pilgrimage is recorded and shared, and it's
Yeah.
important. And all those connections. And she has a book of nice people, and she writes them all down, all these nice people, and she'll be buried with that book, and it'll never go
Yeah.
anywhere. And
Yeah.
good for her. That's beautiful, but it's not changing the world either.
No.
And
No.
but she really reminded me of well, not you specifically, but like she reminded me of a lot of our Brighton friends. Just that kind. I said, "What's your name?" She said, "Rain." I was like, oh no, it wasn't Rain. It was Light.
Oh,
Like,
light.
oh,
Oh my
is
God.
it really? Is that your given name? And we were trying to work out. She was trying to decide where to sleep, and then I found out about a place that they'd be really welcome to sleep. And I saw them again and like ran after them, was going, Light, Light, let me tell you about this place that you can sleep, because I remembered that, when you're on your pilgrimage, sorry, when you're on your pilgrimage, it's really useful for you to know where you're going to sleep that night. And
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
yeah, they just really reminded me of you. This
Oh, that's
lovely
fun.
but very inward looking group of
Yeah.
people. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I think the work that I'm doing is quite outward looking, quite sort of like, oh, you should talk to you, and you should talk to, and connecting people, but it's not, I'm not very politically kind of
Yeah. No, I
informed, I
think that's
think.
totally reasonable. Totally reasonable. Yeah, it's interesting what you were just saying, because it makes me think of like Buddhist monks like meditating all day, every day. It's an
Yeah,
amazing thing, but also it's like, and
exactly. But what are you doing with that? Like, that's
yeah,
lovely. You're not killing any insects, or you're not doing
yeah,
anything, but you're not doing anything.
yeah,
And I think you need to do something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm glad they
Yeah.
exist. I'm glad they exist
Yeah.
because it's another interesting thing to the mix. And I feel like it's a buffer zone for me now because I definitely went through a very suicidal period during the whole IVF moment. I've sort of planned
Mm,
my death
mm.
all day, every day. And when I went and did the Vipassana and I meditated for 10 days, it made me realize that before I go to the lengths of killing myself, I would also like to just go and join a Buddhist monastery and meditate all day, every day. So, there's a
Yeah.
buffer. There's a buffer there now. If I
Yeah.
feel like I'm
Yeah.
at that point, then I could just go and become a Buddhist monk. Just meditate. I
I'm
really
so
do.
sorry that you went through that experience. I mean, I know it's made you what you are, and actually, adversity does do that to us, doesn't it? It makes us
Yeah.
what we are. But I remember lying in a bed with you in my dad's old house, the most uncomfortable bed in the fat world. It was like a fold out bed. And we were lying in this bed, and we were just lying in bed, and you were crying, and I was holding your hand, and you were just so unhappy. And there was nothing I could give you or say to you. You were just unhappy. And there was
Yeah.
just, and that I think wasn't IVF. You've just had moments where you've
I was
been
in depression. I was
just
in depression for about
so
7
sad.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah, 7 years is a long time to be depressed. It was,
it
I mean,
is.
I think that's normal. People are depressed for that long. Like and it feels like, when you accidentally iron a deep crease into your clothes and then you can't really iron it out.
Mm,
And that's what I found the
mm.
Vipassana was really good for, is it did feel like it did a really good job of ironing it out. It was almost like
Like
giving
steaming
it a
out
wash.
the
Yeah,
crease.
steaming out the crease. And I can feel it
Yeah,
sometimes. Like I got a little bit close to depression since I've lived here because it's been such a massive like journey to be around people that don't necessarily like you and are never going to like
yeah,
you because you
yeah,
represent everything that they're against in the world, and you're not able to get away from them. They're not just someone on the
yeah,
bus, they're literally your world. And but it's been really good and it's shifted, and now I am completely not bothered about any of it anymore. Like I don't have FOMO. I don't have, oh God, they don't like me. I mean, I have been putting off having awkward conversations, definitely, but that's just because I don't want to have them. But I'm going to have them. And, it's
yeah.
pretty much like now or never because it's 2 weeks before the event. But also there's an element of like, but if I make it till it's really just before the event, then they kind of have to just do it because it's too late to do anything else. I could
Are you
just
going to
do
put this
that.
podcast out after the event so that they
Yeah,
don't
yeah. Oh, they're not going
necessarily
to
know
listen
that that
to
was your
this.
approach?
They're not going to listen to this. But yeah, it's just like, I mean, you said like 2 months ago that it was fine to do this. I just didn't check in because I knew you might change your mind. But
Maybe
yeah,
there's a
it's
way of
fine.
phrasing it that's just like an assumption of
Yeah, I
like,
think
so
that's the
when
way
you
I'm
do
going to have to
this,
approach it. I'm just
yeah,
going to say,
yeah,
oh, there's this many tents staying in your garden.
yeah.
um, That's the issue. He said, but then he's then gone funny on me because of stuff to do with government stuff. So I just was worried if I mentioned it at the wrong time, he might be like, actually, we can't do that. And yeah, basically it's 2 weeks before the event now, so there's no way I can find somewhere now. So he's going to have
Yeah.
to do it. But he
Have
did
you
offer
got
in the
enough
first place.
space in your garden to have
Well, we're
people
going to
to
have
camp?
half. Yeah, we're having the noisy people in our garden and the quiet people in his garden.
Ah, okay.
So
So
yeah,
that's
he's the
good. That's
quiet
good.
camping and we're the noisy camping. But yeah, it just needs to all be finalised and me to say it's 10 tents. That's basically what needs to happen. But I'm just scared of saying it and him going no. So, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Right, so we'll do the last card. So you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Ooh, this is a lovely card. I love this card. This is the art card. So it's this person
Oh,
that's sort of
exciting.
made out of two halves. So almost like the twin effect, and they're pouring a sort of water and fire into a goblet, a golden goblet. Let's see if I can get that in focus. There you go. I got in focus for a second.
That's just a tiny little thing. I can't see,
Yeah. So
but
it's this
I can
person
see
that's sort of
fire
two
and I can
halves.
see water.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like a griffin, a red griffin, and a white lion. And it's basically like alchemy, but the card's called art. So it's like this card of art and alchemy and mixing
Ooh,
things together and making magic. You're an artist. How's your art world going?
am
Oh,
I?
you're a writer and a singer and a musician.
Well, it's funny when you said artist, I was thinking about the fabulous crochet projects I've done
Oh,
recently.
and
I've
your
made some
crochet, yeah,
wings, I've made some
amazing.
bunting, I've made krakens. I made a kraken for my brother's 40th. But the singing thing is probably the most interesting because it's when I lived with you, I was so anxious about performing that I would never do it. And when I did, I had this huge internal dialogue and my whole face would go purple with anxiety. It was a great look. And then now, 20 years later, more than 20 years later, I'm much less in my head about it. I'm much less worried about it. Like I have a sort of raised heartbeat, but I think I just got to the point where I thought, no, but I love singing and I can do it. And I like the people I'm singing with, and I know the songs really well. And so when we first started recording, we first started practicing, we were just practicing in their attic, and we did that for about 2 years because most of us were like, no, we don't want to perform, no, 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 no. So everybody was on the same page about like, let's not rush it, no, 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 no.
Mm.
So we'd meet every week and practice, and we had and two of them are married. They're the parents of Nell's best mate, and the other two have known them for forever. They grew up together, so they've all known each other a really long time. So they know these songs really well, and they've been hearing them and playing them for 20 years. And so I was kind of coming along. We were doing some new stuff and finding new parts. But now we've got a gig tomorrow night actually, and then in
Oh, wow.
a couple of months we're doing one that's just us. We're having like a gig that's just us. We've never done that before. That's an hour and a half, and yeah, it just feels like less of a I just feel less worried about it. It's just enjoyable. It's really fun. And because we do a lot of piratey songs, we're basically a pirate band. So we dress up as pirates. And yesterday I
Yes.
was thinking, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some fake dreadlocks. I've always wanted to have dreadlocks. And I never ever could. I did try and have one once and it looked so rubbish. I never ever managed to have dreads. My hair's like dead straight and you know. So anyway, I'm going to be a pirate with dreadlocks. I'm going to make some dreadlocks, and I'm going to have dreadlocks as part of my pirate costume. But I've got like baggy trousers, and other people have got hats and boots and jackets and stuff. And that also feels like a bit of a kind of it's a performance. It's
Yeah.
fun. Go and do our thing. And yeah, it's great. I really like doing that. I
What's your
feel like
band
that's
called? What are you called?
the Krakens.
Oh, yeah, the
And
Kraken's
then, so the
awesome.
first Kraken I made was as a band mascot, and I brought it along. Like I've made us a friend, like I've made us a mascot, and so he has to come to our gigs and like find him somewhere to sit when we're there and stuff.
That's
And he's got these
amazing.
like really angry looking eyes. He's made out of wool, but he's not soft.
He's hard.
He's hardcore. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, send me a picture. I'll share it with the social media pictures for the podcast. What's funny is if I do put on this festival next year, one of the extra festivals that I was planning on doing, one's a Norman metal festival because it's the year of the Normans next year, because it's William the Conqueror's 1000th birthday. And so there's, yeah, all across any Norman influenced countries, there's going to be loads of Norman stuff. So the Bay of Tapestry is coming to England and there's all sorts of things happening. So I was going to,
Wow.
in theory, I'm putting on a Norman metal festival with some reenacting because I want to do reenacting to try and sneakily get people over here to start being into traditional crafts. Because if that's sort of happening
Mm,
around them and they get curious, there's so much we could do here that means as
mm,
the bottom feeders, because that's the issue here, is it feels like you're in the middle of nowhere and you're completely out of the picture. But because we are the bottom feeders of the world, along with, other places, and obviously we're much more privileged than many places, but we just get directly affected by world events immediately because our costs are already so high because everything costs so much to get here that our fuel and food prices and everything, like our electric's crazy high, everything is so much higher than it is in England. We've got
mm,
less things to spend money on. So I live on less money here than I did in the UK, but the actual
mm,
things that we do have to spend money on, like fuel and food, are more expensive. So we get directly affected immediately, but also because we're on this like weird, I don't know, like the MOJ will be over all the time, and the MOD and royalty and whatever. Like we're always sort of
really?
being,
Why?
because I think there's an element of like they have to keep in touch to kind of keep their claim on us. Like if they left us their
Really?
devices too long, then we might, yeah, and or we might get in trouble. We might get ourselves into trouble. So they need to kind of keep in touch and make sure we're all right, make sure that everything's like okay, in terms of being a boarder or in terms of not embarrassing anyone, no, not going off the rails, doing some crazy stuff. So there's just there's an element of like keeping in touch with us that goes on. But it means that you're like at the pub getting drunk with the Ministry of Defence. I got on the toast rack, which is the tractor that pulls you up the hill. I got on the toast rack with a whole bunch of people, and I was like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Like, just sort of chatting, and I was like, yeah, they said, "Yeah, our boss is coming here for a visit, so we've had to come to sort of do a recce." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And they was like, "Oh, we've just found out there's a little Sark," and I was like, "Oh yeah, we call them the pointy heads." And then it turned out that they were MI5, and it's because the Princess Royal was coming over, and I basically hitched a ride on the lift with them and told them that everyone in Little Sark was called the Pointy Heads. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise it was MI5. So it's weird because that would never happen in Brighton. I mean, the royals literally are here all the time. Like it's weird. Like we're just sort of in this weird mix where, oh, I'm really good friends with the Lieutenant Governor, who's the person who represents the royals here, who comes over, and we get on really well. And he knows, because they've done recce's on all of us, like they've done their research into us. So any lists that I might be on for protesting and all that sort of thing, they've got access to it. Probably mostly stuff that blooming Clara got me involved in. Clara definitely got me on some lists. So yeah, they'll be privy to all of that. So that's all funny. But anyway, the reason why I was saying it's pirate, we're going to do a pirate festival. It's the other festival I was going to put on. So I'm going to do a Norman metal festival and a pirate folk festival. So we will have to book you. So it would be the first weekend in August, and it would be next year. But it would be but it will. In theory, it would then continue. I mean, I will have to see whether but that in theory, that's what will happen, is that it will be a pirate, because the island was run by pirates, and then Elizabeth I said, "Someone go and sort those pirates out." So Helier de Carteret came over from Jersey with 40 men. The story is, but it's probably not true, but the story is that they pretended that their captain had died and they wanted to come on land to bury him. And so they asked if they could bring the coffin on to bury him. And they were like, "Only if you've got no weapons." They're like, "Look, we've got no weapons." And they went, "All right then." So they brought the coffin on, and the coffin was full of weapons. And then they got the weapons out and got rid of all the pirates, rounded them all up, and then took the island. And then the 40 men that were with him were all given a strip of land called a tenement. And there was enough land for each person to farm, to feed a family, and that had access to the sea and a place to be able to build a house. So that's what the 44 tenements that the island's carved up into is based on, which is what my husband's family have. They've got 2 tenements. But everyone here who's from here has a tenement. Like they've all got that's what the locals are. Which is why everything's leasehold over here, because you're leasing it off. They still own the land. And actually Queen Elizabeth I and the royal, so now the King Charles, actually owns the island. So he actually owns the island, and the seigneur rents it off him for £1 a year, like a token £1 a year thing. And then everyone then owns their tenements, but really the King owns it technically. But yeah, so we're going to reenact that happening and have a pirate musket fight reenactment where some Tudors come and have a fight with some pirates. But I'm going to try and get the whole island to dress as pirates, which would be really fun. But it means we could book you to come over and play.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd be able to book you to come and play. That would be so good. Never thought that would happen.
Can we stay in that gorgeous house we stayed in when we came to your wedding?
Oh, you can do if you can afford it.
Oh.
Well, you could stay in my house.
We'll save up all our band money. Oh yeah, you've got a house. Can we stay in your house?
I've got a massive house.
Oh yeah, okay. I said it.
It's so ridiculous, Saffron. I can't believe that I've ended up with a house. Like I was never gonna ever. It's not even a dream come true, because I didn't even dream that I was ever gonna own a house.
Didn't even dream it. I was thinking about this and about people feeling envious of you for having a house, and I was thinking about the fact that for the whole of our life together, I have thought about it, my future in terms of, and I'll need a granny annex because for Jolie.
I need to look after Jolie.
Exactly. I'll need to, and we're thinking like, I must say to Nathan, like, are you also thinking in terms of granny annex for Jolie, like when she gets old, your brother Nathan, and now I don't have to because you're just like, I'm sorted, like just like no kind of saving up for a deposit and paying a mortgage, just
It's
all sorted.
mad.
And
It's so
not
weird.
envious. Like I the thing about envy, I hate feeling envious of people. And I don't feel envious of you because I feel like, oh thank goodness, my
I don't have
Jolie
to look
has a
after
home.
her. It's more like
No, I
relief.
was looking forward to looking after you, but I do just feel like you're secure, and I think that's not to be sniffed at, and I'm so
No.
pleased for you.
Yeah. It feels so weird. It's so weird. This it's just funny as well because it was like a lump sum of money that came into Diz's life unexpectedly and then has gone back out of his life. And we're literally still now on £12 an hour, but like there's a massive house. It's just like that happened. And it was literally exactly the amount of money that the house was. So it's like there's nothing left. There's just some money came in,
Yeah,
it
it's
went.
just your
There's a house
situation has
now, and now
completely
and yeah,
changed.
and now we're still here with like we definitely got less rent. Well, we're not paying rent, but we have ground rent, and we're going to have massive tax now. Like we've got roof tax. So yeah, so it's not a huge saving, but
Right.
it is different. It's ours. It's not just going out the window. It's ours. But yeah, we're going to have to like, and also it's probably going to cost a lot more money heating it and all those sort of things are all going to cost a lot more money.
Yeah.
But it just, I mean,
It's a
obviously it's
weird
different.
switch to go from living somewhere where you know you're not staying to living somewhere where you know you are. It took us, I mean, I think we're still not there really. The kind of like
Yeah.
it's worth putting up those hooks for your coat to go on, and it's
Yeah.
worth putting in the extra effort to like,
Yeah.
just
Make it nice.
hang up a curtain in front of your cupboard under the stairs and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
making it nice and the little details because you'll be there. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it takes a while. So you've only been in there
Oh, yeah.
less than a month. Don't be too
I
hard on
am
yourself.
not. I am too strung out already to, yeah, like that's a future thing. It's
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
which I feel good about. That's quite unusual for me, but I've accepted the fact that any decorating is probably over winter. So the last thing to
yeah.
ask you is, what about a chaos crusade?
I had an idea, and then I asked another friend. Cass listens to your she listens to your podcast, and so I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, I haven't even got back out, Christine."
Shout
So
out to
I
Cass.
think, and I can't actually read it without making you pause and wait for me for ages. I think I'm just going to go with my original one, which was strike up some banter. Because when I was overseas and I came back, what I really, really enjoyed was the banter.
Mm,
I remember being in Marks and Spencer's and just talking to the person who worked there about the fact that the pants that match the bras are always so enormous. Like, why can't you just buy nice knickers to go with bras? And we were all howling with laughter behind the counter. And I was like, I walked away with like tears welling in my eyes. Like, that's what I miss. Like this, like just joking with shop assistants. So
yeah.
something about just make a random comment. I walked past a man the
Yeah.
other day and he was doing his bins and I said, "Oh, the lovely Wednesday evening dance." And he said, "Oh, it's a rubbish evening." And we laughed. It's just like, I love
Oh,
those moments. I think they're so important and they're so
yeah.
elemental. They're what make us human. And I think that we should all be going out and making little comments to try and make each other laugh all the time. Not necessarily
Yeah.
to laugh. You might just be talking about the weather, but just connect. I think connect
Yeah,
with people.
totally.
So I know
You
it's
actually
not
taught
very
me to do that. You
groundbreaking.
taught me to do
Did
that
I?
many years ago. Yeah, because there's two major things that you taught me in life. One was you're beautiful and you're allowed to be and own it. And the first time you said that to me, it was so shocking. I was like, who does she think she? We can't. That's so egotistical. And then I was like, no, actually, you're right. We are beautiful. We're allowed to be beautiful. Aren't we lucky? We're lucky we're beautiful. So that was great. And I've done it to loads of women since. So like young girls who I meet who are beautiful, I'll always tell them, like, you know that you're really beautiful, right? And just get that passed along. So that was something really lovely.
Excellent.
And the
Yes.
other thing was your because you had a really feminist upbringing with your mum. I remember your poster saying the women are not free, the people are not free. And that was like at your dinner table, your poor brother saying trying to
Big
rebel
brains.
against it. But you just were so pro female and I wasn't. I grew up with girls bullying me and I just found women really like icky and it's been really good preparation for here because there's more of that kind of vibe of women here. Brighton attracted the kind of women that didn't get on with women, and we all found each other and went, oh, all tomboys actually like each other. We're awesome. It was just those other girls. But you taught me to be nice to women anyway, and you said to me, no, but you've got to have women's back because no one else is. You've got to have their backs. You've got, if you're in the change room, tell someone they look nice. Like, don't be bitchy. Just support women. And
Yeah.
it that started me then being more pro chatting to strangers as well, because I think as a pretty girl you kind of have a bit of a protection. You have to be a bit protective about people talking to you, and you can be a bit like, oh god, like what do they want, which is fair enough. But then that then ends up being just your, again, operandi. What's it? Modus operandi.
MO. Yeah, modus operandi.
That thing.
What is it? What is it?
What's that word? I'm so bad with words. I'm a writer. It's ridiculous. Modus operandi. And I would just be a bit like, ooh, about anyone talking to me. And then I learned not to do that. And I learned to be really open to chatting to people. And then that even increased with the pilgrimage, or just also, I guess, when I was on the road with theatre. But I just love talking to people. And where I've been writing my book from the first pilgrimage I did, the day when me and Emily, I knew we'd actually split up, and I was having to walk with my grief and my heartache. And it was along a canal, and it was grueling heat, and kind of a bit repetitive, and a really hard day. But my favourite thing was meeting these two old men, and one of them was completely silent, didn't say a word, but the other one knew his name was George, and I never got what his name was. And he just spent the whole time going, isn't that right, George? Isn't that right? Without this other guy saying anything. And it turned out they'd only just met each other. So this guy was just, and he was ex-army, and he just had that hilarious, like bombastic, like voice and nature. And he was just like, we've never known anything like it, have we, George? We lived through the Blitz, but at least in the Blitz we were all together. We all just got separated and we couldn't talk to each other, and everyone, never known anything like it, have you, George? Have we? But he was, I think I was with them for about 3/4 an hour, and it was the absolute highlight of my day. And I know that it was really good for them because they'd had no human contact. We'd all just been in lockdown, and they had that interaction. I know how much they got out of it, apart from this poor George guy who didn't say a word. But it meant so much to me as well, because it was the only distraction I had that whole day, and it made such a difference. And you just don't know, like I always say this about ripples, like you never have a clue with ripples that you're putting out into the world and the effect that they're having. You have no idea what the impact you're having, and just you saying hello to that person might change everything for them.
Always be kind to people. Just always be kind to people. You possibly can. They might be dreadful. Then don't be kind to them. But you should. That's it. You've got to kind of approach things in this kind of. You don't have to, but this is how I'm bringing up my child. Just be kind to people, and just try not to let stuff affect you, and just be kind to people. And just that kind of connecting with people thing is something that I'm just having to kind of demonstrate, and going out into the world and demonstrating it. We were in the co-op the other day, and she was like, oh my god, why are you shrieking with that woman behind us? Because I knew her from dog walking, and we were like, oh, it's you, hello, and had a chat. And I was like, you just like queue up and buy your stuff, and but all of those connections are meaningful to me, because they're enriching my day, and enriching hopefully hers as well. Obviously not enriching my daughter's day particularly. But I think that I get this from my dad as well. My dad was like this. I'd sit in a pub, and I'd hear a ripple of laughter over the far side, and I'd know, oh, that's where he is. He's over there. And he'll be making that group of people laugh. He'll have come out and said, I couldn't find this, and I just made a little joke with some people. And I've watched him do it my whole life, and gone, right, you have a nice life. You have lots of laughs. I'm going to be like that, not deliberately, just emulating your example that's in front of you. I'll be like that then. So I'm just hoping that that's eventually how I'll influence now, by just going and being chatty with everybody and anybody. And actually, I realise I make friends on the walk more than anywhere else. When I'm out dog walking, I'm wearing my skankiest clothes, and that's where I've met them most people. I'm wearing my rags. Hello. If you're at me now, you should see me when I've got nice things on and done my hair.
Well, that's a nice way to meet. That's the same with the pilgrimage. My God, I literally stink.
You're like me now. You see me when I'm at a wash.
Oh, yeah. I actually am quite glamorous. I don't always look like a boy.
You
So
don't look
funny.
like a boy. You've never looked like a boy. You've often said that about yourself. But I think when you wear that hat when you're on your pilgrimage, you sometimes do. But
Yeah, I
they're
look
actually a
sort of
bit
like an Oliver Twist kind of
yeah,
boy, like a joke
with your
boy.
trousers tucked into your
Yeah,
socks and stuff.
caricature
But I think you
boy.
do that deliberately when you're on your pilgrimage because you don't want to attract any kind of like
Yeah,
any sort of interest, any
yeah,
sexual interest. So it's just
no,
like, hello,
yeah.
I'm a
Hello.
boy.
G'day, sir.
All right, governor.
Do you want the chimney swept?
I'll ask someone else. I don't
Yes.
know how to do
I mean, I
that.
don't know how to do that, but I've got a phone. I can
Oh,
order.
I can book you a chimney
I can
sweep.
book someone. I'll Google it. Oh, well, thank you so much. I knew that it was going to be wonderful to talk to you. And yeah, I miss you. We
Yeah, I
don't
miss you
actually
too.
ever
It's been
talk
lovely
in
to talk to you
person. We
today.
just record each other long podcast messages to each other. So it's been the first
Yeah,
time I've seen you since my wedding, I think, probably, which is 2 years ago now.
yeah. And then when before your wedding, it had been 5 years since we'd seen each
That's so
other. That's
mad.
nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Well,
I
I'm going to
like
book
that
you. I'm going
long
to book you for the
form.
Pirate Festival.
Yeah, book me for the Pirate Festival. And I'll just bring 8 other people with me. That'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the way that we talk to each other in voice notes on WhatsApp. I think that's a really
Mm.
lovely way of staying in contact. I still feel like I'm quite connected. Like I knew your cat was missing, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'm kept in the loop by that form of communicating. So
Yeah.
it works for us for now.
It
But
does work
hopefully
because
we'll have.
also trying to like orchestrate times to actually talk. I just think our lives are so
Yeah,
hectic that it's just almost
yeah,
impossible
yeah,
to make that happen. Because one of my friends
yeah.
won't do the voice note thing, and now I don't really talk to her. And it's like it's not because I don't want to talk to her. It's just I've never got time to be like, oh, we could have an hour-long conversation. It's
Yeah,
just really tricky. So
exactly. We've been
yeah,
talking about doing this hour-long conversation since January. It's
yeah,
mid-April. It's
yeah.
taken us
It's
that long,
taken us that
and I'm
long.
sitting in a cold car on a hill to make it bloody ridiculous.
It's
And so
crazy.
those voice notes are really like they are the way that we stay connected to each other.
Yeah,
And I really, really love listening to your voice notes and your podcast as well. I really
yeah.
enjoy listening to your podcast because I do feel like you're making them for me. I
Yeah,
listen
well,
to your
you
podcast
basically are my
and I
like market
remember.
in my head. Yeah, you are the target market. It's just me chatting to Saffron.
I love it. Thanks.
Yeah, it's like if Saffron's
Oh,
enjoying it, good. I'm getting it
yeah,
right.
absolutely. Thank you
Oh,
for making me a personal podcast. I appreciate it.
that's okay. I'm here for you, babes.
Have a lovely,
Right, well,
lovely
better go.
day.
Love you. Take
Okay.
care. Enjoy the rest of
Lots
your
of love.
day. See you soon.
See you
Mwah.
soon.
Take care,
Bye.
darling.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
That was such a wonderfully giggly, laughter fueled podcast episode. I normally use some of the AI tools in the recording suite that is the interface that I use, and it actually edits out my laugh quite a lot, and it's one of the things I wish it didn't do, because I can appreciate that I have got quite a loud abrasive laugh, but I like laughing and I think it's quite an important part of the recordings. But I don't know, normally I think, well, maybe it's a bit unprofessional, so I let it edit it out. So with this one I didn't tweak that, because I just knew that there was too much laughing in it. It would have sounded weird. We would have just sounded like strange robots all the way through it. So I allowed the laughing to stay, and I really enjoyed it. Listening back though, I was like, oh god, that was a lot. So I hope you don't mind us cackling in your ears. We are cackling witches. And that photo that I was talking about that's next to my writing desk, I'm going to take a photo of it and share it so that you can see it, because it's Saffron and Dennis cackling. There is meant to be me in the image as well, but I was really sunburnt, and so I just cut myself out of it and just have Saffron and Dennis there cackling in this particular image. I can't actually find the original. It's a shame, because I'd like to find the picture with the three of us in it, but it will turn up somewhere in some social media memory at some point. But yeah, I loved every minute of that conversation. She is my, she's my roots. And when you talk to someone who knows you that well and has known you for that long, they just know your journey. They've seen the full journey and understand your achievements and how far you've come. And I feel exactly the same about her. I see all the layers to her. I am the living embodiment of the palimpsest of Saffron layers. You know, I know all about her. I know all the things she's been up to, and she knows all the things I've been up to. And that's something I treasure. And it doesn't matter how much time passes. And when we talk to each other, we can see each other's mannerisms in each other. Like, we know that we steal from one another's behaviours and all sorts of things. So, yeah, I love that. That was wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you ever so much for being here. Next week is the week of Beltane. I am going to attempt to make a podcast. If I don't manage it, then please forgive me, but I think I will. I think I'm going to, but I was going to record it tonight and I have a sore throat and I can't. So we'll just have to play it by ear, but I am aiming to get one out. So thank you. Lots of love, and I shall see thee anon.